My name is Troy Taylor, and we're here in Alton, Illinois at the American Oddities Museum. I took this place over from a friend of mine who had an interest in odd things, but not the kind of interest in odd things that I had. I am an author, so I write about ghosts and haunted history, true crime, and the unexplained, but I also have a background in carnivals and sideshow history. So when I had a chance to take over a museum that is something that I had wanted to do my entire life, I started moving my collection in, and it's eclectic. So when people come here, we always tell them that the best thing to do is to expect the unexpected, because they never know what they're going to find. And we're constantly changing things, bringing in new exhibits and introducing new things. In the entry hall to the museum, we actually have a free section too. It's dedicated to local Alton history, and it has everything that you could possibly imagine and a lot of things you didn't know existed. We have a section on local hauntings, because Alton being known as one of the most haunted small towns in America. We have a section dedicated to our local hometown hero, Robert Wadlow, the tallest man who ever lived. Information about the Piasa Bird, stores, businesses, companies that haven't existed in 50 or 100 years, but we've got stuff that we've collected from those places too. So anybody with any interest in local history, that's, as far as I know, probably the biggest local history museum anywhere in this area. In the museum, we've got a whole section dedicated to the spiritualist movement of the 19th century, which includes a collection of Ouija boards and spirit devices and a whole history of Harry Houdini and his interest in the unknown, because that fits right in with the sideshow stuff with the magicians and the magic. I also spent a lot of time writing about true crime, so I have a vast interest in that too. So we have a collection of true crime objects, things from places where serial killers lived, where crimes took place. We've opened a throwback speakeasy of sorts, dedicated to Prohibition and all of the crime that came with it. We have a Knights of Pythias ceremonial skeleton. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of the fraternal organizations like the Freemasons and some of the others, especially the smaller ones, have these ornate ceremonies to join that confronted you with your own demise someday. And they used real human skeletons to do this, most of which were abandoned when those lodges closed down. Well, every once in a while, somebody will be doing some work on an old building and open a closet, and there's literally a skeleton in it. We also have a collection of haunted objects, things that people have actually given us because they don't want to have them in their homes. We're finding that the more you lock those things up in glass cases, the better your chances are that whatever was going on stops. But that's not to say we don't have odd things happening here on a regular basis. It's not uncommon to come in and find things moved around in the morning. We have cameras. We know that no one's been here, so we can't explain some of the weird things that happen. Again, expect the unexpected, because you never know what might happen while you're here. And then, of course, there is our sideshow and carnival section, which we are continuing to grow as time has gone on, collecting pieces from the sideshows of the late 1800s and early 1900s, the postcards, the photographs, the traveling items that a lot of those people put on sale so they could make a little extra money. Back in those days, that was sometimes the only way that you could make money. Let's say if you had, a third arm growing out of your chest or something. That's not something you'd be down at the local drugstore working at the counter. You needed to find a way, and a lot of people became very successful doing that. Some didn't, and there are a lot of sad stories, but there are a lot of pretty inspiring stories too. So we try to kind of showcase all of that and make sure that when people come, they understand what things used to be like. And that's a big part of what the museum is. I mean, we have a lot of history here. Stories that people maybe don't know, or maybe they think they know a little about it and find out there's a lot more. That's kind of been the idea of the museum. Well, we hope you'll come out and see the museum and experience it for yourself. And like I said, come expecting the unexpected, because that's exactly what you'll find here. And you can find more about our location, our hours, and information about the museum at our website, which is AmericanOdditiesMuseum.com.